StefaniesRockShow.com. We're here with In This Moment. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys got a Star-Crossed Wasteland coming out CD. How does it differ from your former CDs? What's different about this one?
I think that this album, is our defining album. I think that we're experimental band, and I know we always will be, but I think that we kind of got a really perfect mix between really, really heavy and then melodic, but it's all smooth and comfortable together. Wow. And it's super heavy, but it's super beautiful. So we found this, what our sound is supposed to be, I think.
Very neat. And how do you think you've changed guitar-wise or anything on this album?
Well, from the last album, we basically just turned everything up. So the metal is really in the forefront. The heavy guitars are just more there, and like she said it perfectly. We just brought the heavy and melded it with the melodic, and just made sure the heavy was heavy this time. Whereas the last album it was kind of lighter guitar-wise.
Nice. And how did you all get together? How did you meet and collaborate?
Well, he was he's evil. No,
Fighting for years.
he was jamming in a band with this drummer, a guy who I met, and at the time I moved to LA looking for a band. That's why I came here or whatever. So this guy was like, "Well, yeah, why don't you come audition?" And he was jamming with a guitar player, which was Chris. So I went to the house, and Chris wasn't there, and I waited around for probably 2 hours for him to get there. And finally, he got there and realized that I was a girl, and wanted no part of trying me out, and just went to bed and shut his door. And I was just sitting there so then I'm a woman who likes to get what she wants, and I really wanted a band so bad, and I'd been searching so hard.
Persistent.
Yeah, so they were having a jam session a few days later, and I kind of prepared this vocal thing and practiced it in the mirror, and then I went over there and they were all there, and I kind of just did this a cappella vocal thing in front of them all, and they were all kind of just oh, okay, well, maybe we can jam.
Wow. And what was your take on the girl thing?
It's mostly true. I mean, it wasn't just that she was a girl. I was already in another band and then doing this jam band with my friend who brought her over, and I was just not interested in doing anything, much less with a girl who I didn't know anything about, and I just wasn't into it at the time. But she's right. Once she came the next day and sang and I heard it, I was blown away by her voice, and I talked to her right away and said, let's do something, right after that. And that's how it started.
Speaking of this girl thing, In This Moment sounds great. I got to listen to the new CD. The Promise, I think, was my favorite song. I love it. But let's talk about you. You've got, the Golden God Award, hottest chick in metal. You're all over Revolver magazine. How did this all come about? And this is huge. You must be really excited.
Yeah, I love Revolver. They've been good supporters since day one, our first album. So they just do this award that's the hottest chick in metal, and I think it's just all in good fun, really. I think because musically, as an artist, as a musician, we know that it's not, the music isn't just about
everything, but
I can't define our music, but to me it's just sprinkles on top of a yummy cupcake, what I mean? It's just
your name out
it's just another layer of something good, and it's just it's fun. I love Revolver. We had fun. I got completely wasted. I'm not a big drinker, and I was totally smashed at the awards.
Oh, at the awards.
At the awards, yeah. Because
I was there, man. It was wow. That was fun.
And I've been doing the magazines for the past few years. I've been in all those. So when I won and I was drunk, I don't even remember getting the award. So I'm a little embarrassed about that.
You looked great. You couldn't tell.
Thanks.
Have you guys ever been in a band where there's been a male lead singer, and do you think there's been a different audience or crowd because that you have a female now?
That's a great question. My whole life I've played with guys and guy singers, and singers in general can be difficult, or just they're a different breed of person. But never with a girl, and Maria's the first, and obviously, there's some kind of chemistry because I was in a million bands that never did anything, and then right when Maria and I got together, it happened. I think it opens you up to a whole new world of people, and it's different than everything else going on, and Maria has a really strong voice. It doesn't matter if she's a girl or guy, it's a really strong voice with singing and screaming and the capabilities of doing it all. So I just think it opens up the doors to everything. There are some people out there, though, that are hesitant to take on girl-type bands, like radio programmers and stuff for some reason, but I felt like it's opened up everything for us, and our fans are really crazy. There's so many young girls that love us, and there's this couple thing where there's middle-aged couples, a guy and a girl, that come together to the show.
Do you have any old creepy fans? Any really old men that are hey, we came out to see you?
They're in their 50s that come to our show.
Nice.
Wow. But what about dealing with makeup and the girl stuff you never thought you'd have to deal with?
That's another thing too. Like never in my life of being in music and growing up watching Motley Crue and Kiss, Metallica, and all this, thinking that I'm going to be in a band with a girl where we have to like worry about a dress or a crinoline or a tutu or the makeup, and these are things words that I hear all the time, in this band, So you never thought that would be the case.
She looks great. I don't think you have to worry too much, but yeah. Do you guys have metal inspirations? Kind of who you looked up to?
I mean, I had such a cool rock and roll mom. Like I've told everybody, like I was going to like Rolling Stone and AC/DC concerts when I was literally like 5 years old, like with my mom, like with a T-shirt on. And so my mom was a rocker, so I think she put it in me just as a small little girl. Then of course, growing up, I loved like Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard, and then grew into Pantera, and then started learning about so many different bands. But I think also it's just I love metal, but I also love all kinds of music. I love like everything in the rainbow. But for me, it's just a specific like release of emotion that is in that, like I've had this crazy life, and it's like you can't take this crazy life where you have so much to let out and like just let it out in like pop or let it out in like, you know what I mean, country music. It's like it calls for like aggressive, really emotionally letting it out, and that falls into metal. So yeah.
There's less killings in the world because of metal, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you okay sane. So do you have any inspirations for you to start in music?
I mean, it's like she said, Kiss was the first band that like made me like really want to do it. I saw their full production and everything. Like she said, the metal community is like such a unity thing, and we've like since we've been a band, we've been in front of all kinds of crowds, and we played with lots of different bands and different styles and stuff, and we've really seen how together metal is and how much metal is like this thing that's always going to be there. It's not like iffy. It's not, the metal fans are the ones that come every time. There's so many fly-by-night people in the world, so we just think metal in general is like a unified, like it's like a way of life.
You guys are going to be on the 2010 ticket. Are you excited to play with any certain band or?
I'm so excited. I mean, I'm excited for all the bands on the main stage. I love Five Finger. We're friends with them. I love Lamb of God, Korn. Rob Zombie always has this great show that's so theatrical.
Are you stoked anyone individually?
I mean, I'm really excited about Shadows Fall and Chimera. Those two bands are so heavy and so tight and so seasoned and so pro. It's really awesome that we're getting to do a tour with them, but also we're going to be playing either before or after them every day. So it's going to really challenge us to pull out our A game and all guns blazing,
Everybody's like, man, we got to be good. We might be going after Chimera every day. We really got to bring it. I'm like, oh God, dude, push up.
And so heavy and so tight. They're those two bands especially have been doing it a long time, and I'm excited to be playing with them. And Lamb of God too. They're another.
They're all in the same category. You're right up there, so it's pretty stoked. Check out Mayhem 2010. They're going to be on the ticket. New CD.
July 13th.
July 13th. Okay, cool. So you got to go out there and get it. It's really exciting. Thanks for coming in.